Hi Pisces, thanks for joining me for your March 2018 forecast, and happy solar return to you for those of you born in March. I am shuffling the Mythical Goddess Tarot by Sage Holloway and Catherine Skaggs. It's beautiful, and I'm just trying something new again, and I'm learning a lot from this imagery. I am excited for this month. So much is going on. Let's get to it. Similar to January, we start the month with a full moon on the 1st, and we end the month on the 31st with another full moon, just like January. So this blue moon energy is coming through again, and another 11-degree full moon on the 1st in Virgo. So your 7th house of marriage, partnership, is having some closure. You're able to release some old wounds, perhaps the ending of the marriage itself, for those of you who are going through the divorce or separation. Some of you are ending old patterns or habit within partnership, and some of you are becoming aware of what needs to be seen within your personal relationships, because the full moon is the awareness time. And on the 31st, at the tail end, the full blue moon is at 10 degrees of Libra in the 8th house of sex and intimacy. So there's a theme of closure throughout who you're connecting with throughout relationship, and how you're growing together in your intimate relationship, your sexual relationship, and your shared resources. What you're investing in is showing up this month, Pisces. On the 6th, both Mercury and Venus transit into the sign of Aries, and your security sector, the 2nd house of money and finance, is emphasized strongly this month. Having Venus there, she's able to assist, or the energy of this planet is able to assist in the sector where she lends harmonious, effortless energy, and you could accrue money in ways that you had more recently thought might be difficult, or it's easier to see how your money can be managed or budgeted at this time. Mercury direct up until the 22nd could see some assistance in handling tax preparation, in going through the budget and the earnings. And I think that since tax time is right around the corner, the best time to actually go through all of this and schedule your accountant appointments would be for Pisces and Pisces rising and Pisces moon between the 6th of March and the 19th. Well, the 21st, but Mercury's slowed down by then. I feel like you have options to get it handled between the 2nd and or the 6th and the 21st. You should handle it, but don't handle the tax data between the 22nd of March and April 15th, which is exactly when the taxes are due. So it's a year to prepare early for them. So on the 8th, Jupiter is also retrograding at 23 degrees of Scorpio, back through 13 degrees of Scorpio through July 10th. Foreign travel is not highlighted for Pisces, or it could be in your life, but it's not advised when Jupiter's retrograde in the 9th house of foreign experience and travel. Since Jupiter is a travel planet and an adventuresome energy, I feel like when he slows down, there's better times for you to make this long distance trip. However, if you can't, get around that, this is quite a long retrograde, which Jupiter always tends to be 3 or 4 months. You have to do what you have to do, but prepare for not the same mercurial delays, but you might not go as deeply into the learning of a location or the experience of the location because of this planet retrograde in the sector he normally governs, which is the 9th house. It doesn't mean you're not unlucky at this time. He's still able to share in the benevolence, but you just might not go as deeply within the experience as if he were direct. So if you can schedule travel, long distance travel, do so from July 11th forward in the year. On the 17th, we have our new moon at 26 degrees of Pisces, so it's your new moon, in the first house of self. And on that same day, Mars enters the sign of Capricorn. And this new moon's energy will sextile this Mars energy. And Pisces and Capricorn are one sign away from each other. That forms the 60-degree sextile. So this moon is in combination with Mars, and there is a desire, Mars, to connect socially. And you could be inspired, Mars, to focus your energy, Mars, on the body, on the self, on a routine, a physical self, and exercise. And you might do so with a group of friends or connections, or you might join a club that is affiliated with some kind of body workout, a group, a yoga class, or even something that you need to expend even more energy in. Well, yoga you do, but something where it's extremely physical and maybe not as spiritual. So, I mean, it could be a vast amount. So we'll see how that applies. And happy spring. The sun is entering Aries. And on the 20th, we have our vernal equinox. Like I said, happy solar return too. Once the sun goes into Aries, it's no longer the birthday for the Pisces. So we have our cardinal ingress. It's a time for action, but there's an irony to this because it is a time of action on the 20th, but then on the 22nd, Mercury retrogrades. And he will remain retrograde through the 15th of April. He retrogrades at 16 degrees of Aries in this second house of budget and money. So then there's a full review after you get your taxes done of what it is you can really spend on in the quarter or the half of the year. So Mercury retrogrades back through 4 degrees of Aries. So there is an assessment here of your budget and what you're earning and where you're putting your money and how much you're getting back and how much you're spending. On the, also Pisces, watch the self-confidence too, because when Mercury slows down here, you could tend to be self-critical, and your self-confidence could feel a little bit depleted. Maybe your insecurities start probing at you somewhat, because this is the scepter of security. And with Mercury retrograde, I feel like you could go back to old ways of thinking about yourself and how you hold yourself in the world and what you've accrued. So don't be too judgmental throughout that period for you. On the 31st, we have our full blue moon at 10 degrees of Libra in the 8th house. Oops. And we also have Venus entering the sign of Taurus that same day on the 31st. So leaving the sign of Aries, entering the sign of communication, Taurus, the sector of communication and siblings and the vehicle. You might be drawn to purchase a new mode of transportation. However, I think after mid-April is the time for that. You don't want to buy something to commit to in the Mercury retrograde. Let's see what cards come up for you. And please watch your rising sign and your moon sign for a full cosmos dose. I also wanted to let you know that there is a spring special that I'm having for all of my viewers. I did this last month just for my clients who subscribe to my newsletter. And it is from March 1st through March 19th. I'm having a special on my 1-hour Astro Tarot combination readings. And for a full hour session, which would normally be $160, it is now offered at the rate of a 45-minute reading, which is $125. So I wanted to give people the opportunity to have this reading with me because I love doing it so much, but I'm also increasing my prices on the first day of spring. And it's been years since I've done that, but just slightly I'll be increasing them due to some increase in PayPal fees and taxes and inflation. So I'm offering a little bit of a discount before they go up. So that's just a little piece for you. And also your Vimeo on-demand medium messages are now available. And all of that link information is below, and that's for the month of March. So, Pisces, first card, wow, Athena, the Chariot. Athena is the goddess of wisdom and war. And the Chariot is that vehicle that I just mentioned in the third house. Your transportation may be elevating, uplifting somehow, but the Chariot is a victory card. It is the strongest victory card, a major arcana card that represents the sign of Cancer in the Tarot. And now we have the sign of Gemini, the lovers, Shakti, the ecstatic union, attraction, grace, beauty, decision, and sexuality and sex and intimacy. That full moon in the 8th house, the full moon in the 7th house. There could be Gemini Cancer vibes for Pisces that you're drawing in. This could be victory in a decision between two lovers if you're deciding. The Four of Wind, the Four of Swords, patience. This is the card of rest. This is retreat, thinking, allowing the space needed for download, for recuperative rest. Maybe you need to retreat from a dating situation or relationship situation in order to come up with the correct analysis or decision here going forward. You have another card. The Six of Wind, Six of Swords. This is a travel card, but it's also the card of mental intention and your thoughts, the power of the mind. I actually just wrote a post about the swords and the influence of our thoughts on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, please do so. I post almost every day. So, like I said, not great to travel during Mercury's retrograde, and not great for you to be throwing yourself into long distance travel when you really want to gain the full awareness of the experience when Jupiter's retrograde in your 9th house, a foreign experience. But there's nothing saying you can't travel here. And when I got the Six of Wands, or Swords, I'm thinking astral travel. Some of you might be meditating and studying astral projection and working with the mind and the concepts of your mind. Some of you are traveling, and there's no way around it. That's just what's scheduled. And if you do so, you might even have some downtime with that Four of Swords, and you could meet a lover. You could have an attraction here. Oh, wow, look at this. The final card is the Nine of Cups, and that is the Nine of Seas. This is a wish card, wish fulfillment. Oh, and look, it's the sign of Pisces right here in the corner. So this is just coming in. Look at all those dolphins. You could go away, and if you do so, I would do so on water and truly rejuvenate, recuperate, get in the sea salt, get in the sun, get your vitamin D and a salt scrub on. What a beautiful, joyous card, and a great energy that I'm picking up from it. You are starting the month strong, Pisces. Chariot does not fail. And you are driven, you are ambitious. And you can achieve a lot if you do so with an open mind and with grace. Thank you so much for choosing me for this reading and forecast. I appreciate your likes, your donations, your subscriptions to the channel. And Pisces, I'm wishing you a lovely March, a happy birthday, happy spring. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.